It has been quite some time since I've recorded this sort of video. It's been about half a year actually, but I have been looking into a lot of Mario Kart Tour information lately, such as upcoming tracks and racers, anything to do with Mario Kart Tour, and of course Mario Kart 8 Deluxe with the Booster Course Pass. And I've seen a lot of people on YouTube posting their predictions for what could come for both of these titles. And to say the least, it can be a little irritating seeing them overlooking a few bits of information that, you wouldn't expect everybody to know, but you also have videos of people talking about these bits of information, leaks, data mines for Mario Kart Tour, and either getting them wrong or getting parts of them right, but then leaving out other bits and pieces. So I wanted to take a few minutes to kind of go over what can be expected from Mario Kart Tour in the near future. Obviously, it's all going to be predictions based on files found within the game, so nothing is 100% accurate. Take everything that you hear with a grain of salt. And it's going to be pretty quick because I don't want to waste too much time talking about this since it's only for one title, only for a few different tracks. So we're going to talk about the next 8 or 9 tours or so in Mario Kart Tour, what retro and nitro courses can possibly be expected, and potentially what some of the tours themselves could be centered around. None of the information that I'm going to be presenting today was found by myself. All of the credit goes to our wonderful Mario Kart Tour data miners for discovering all this information in the tracks. And if I miss anything, feel free to let me know in the comments because I do look to improve however I can. So that being said, I'm going to see how fast we can go with this while still trying not to miss anything. Each tour in the game's files is referred to as a season, and the actual number tour that is happening at any given time is not going to line up with the number of that season, mainly due to Nintendo not using some of these seasons, such as the Beta Tour or Zero and the Peach Tour. And for these reasons, we will have times where, such as the Bowser tour that has just happened, will be tour 95. However, it is actually season 106. So whenever I mention these different seasons, just know that that is not the equivalent of which tour we are currently on in terms of numbers. For 107, aka the 96 tour, of course, we just found out we have the Me tour, which will be bringing Piranha Plant Cove 3 and GCN Mushroom Bridge. These were both predicted by Mario Kart Tour data miners using these ID gaps that were mentioned in the beginning of the video. And because of this, this is one of those examples of times where we can reassure people that these leaks or data mines can, in fact, not necessarily confirm because, of course, they're only predictions, but give us a pretty good idea of what to expect in the future for the game. And this is why I felt the need to make this kind of video in the first place, is to go ahead and share these predictions, as well as reassure people that these predictions can actually be a little bit more realistic than some people make them out to be. So to move on for number 108, for season 108, we have the wedding tour, as we're calling it for now. It could technically be anything else related to princesses or Daisy or Peach, since we are looking to possibly get a GBA Peach Circuit and Wii Daisy Circuit. However, of course, the tour names are not going to be 100% accurate, but because of the Me costumes that we've just been hinted at in the Wave 33 trailer, we can get a pretty good idea of what these two costumes are, Daisy and a pink Me costume. And these kind of go hand in hand with the two courses listed currently for season 108. For 109, we have what we're nicknaming the Mario Bros. Tour, or potentially a Mario vs. Luigi rematch, which will be bringing N64 Mario Raceway and GBA Luigi Circuit. Luigi Circuit is a little bit more set in stone than Peach Circuit in the previous tour, mainly because this course actually has unique objects in tour's files, those being an airship balloon as well as a puddle of water, similar to like the oil slicks that you would see on one of the SNES Mario circuits, whereas tracks such as Peach Circuit don't have any unique objects in the files, and therefore it makes it a little bit harder to predict whenever we have one of these courses in pretty big gaps. For Season 110, which we're calling the Jungle Tour or possibly the Animal Tour, we are only looking to get one new course as of right now, being GBA Lakeside Park. For 111, we have what we're calling the Summer Tour. It could also, however, be the Rio Tour, most likely going to be the first there. However, either way, we are looking to be getting the first two variants of a new three variant. Tour Nitro is looking to be a city, given that we still need one or two more to make it into the booster course pass, as well as we are currently missing any South American cities in Mario Kart Tour. So Rio de Janeiro would be a very good pick. And also, in general, there's a lot of potential for this track if it does come, such as its big jungles and beaches, as well as soccer. They could do something similar almost to Los Angeles Laps if they wanted with the stadium. For 112, we have a Wild West Tour featuring one of the most highly debated courses that have been data mined, which is Mob DK. And I'm just going to put this out pretty plain. It's not going to be a Donkey Kong course by any means. And if it were, it would not be abbreviated to Mob DK, but instead DK itself, aka Donkey Kong, would be abbreviated to just D, just like 3DS DK Jungle is abbreviated to DJ, and Wii DK Summit is abbreviated to Wii DS. Now, this tour is only going to feature Daisy and Desert courses, which is why we currently are focusing more on believing that this could be Daisy Kingdom or Desert Kingdom. I'm about to pronounce this name wrong, but we are looking that it'll most likely be a Sarasaland track, which, in case you aren't familiar with Super Mario Land, is under the rule of Daisy. Namely, it could be Birabudo, again, probably pronouncing that wrong, which is the desert kingdom of this little area from Super Mario Land. And in my opinion, this would be really cool to bring back because it has been years since we've even seen this area of Mario mentioned. So to bring this back in Mario Kart Tour would actually be really cool. For 113, we are going to be looking at a tour featuring Mob BR, or what we are almost 100% sure is a bathroom theme track, given the fact that there are objects such as rubber ducks, sponges, and bath bombs in the files for this course. And obviously, there's not a whole lot more proof you can get for that besides the name itself, BR. And for abbreviations, currently some of the more realistic options are just simply bathroom and bath race. For 114, there's actually not any 100% for sure tracks that we can expect in this tour as of right now. However, it's looking to be some sort of Sunday related tour, bringing back Sky High Sunday for the first time in, by the time this tour will come out, over a year. And there will most likely be snow and ice related tracks on this tour. One of our speculated tracks in mind would be GC and Sherbertland, but that is pure speculation. For 115, the only new track that we have listed so far is Wii Moonview Highway. Originally, we thought that Mushroom Bridge could be in this tour, however, it did end up just getting revealed for the Mii tour, so obviously that's not going to be happening in that tour. For 116, our last tour that we're going to be going over here is what we are already knowing for sure is probably going to be an anniversary tour, given the fact that only third variants of several cities will be appearing, including Athens Dash. So we'll finally get the last variant for that. And that's about all we have in terms of looking into new tours coming after Mii Tour. However, there are still a couple of extra tracks left over that people have probably mentioned in speculation and predictions, such as GCN Waluigi Stadium and, of course, Mob ND. We were expecting originally to have Waluigi Stadium appear in what's now known as the Me Tour. However, obviously, this isn't going to be the case, so as of right now, it's kind of just in the air as to when it could appear. I would not expect it anytime soon, though, so sorry to those of you who are looking forward to that next tour. But for Mob MD, there is a little bit of information I want to talk about, even if it isn't when it'll be coming, because it most likely will not be arriving to tour within the next 8 tours or roughly 16 weeks. However, I can go ahead and go over a little bit of history about this file name itself even, because it originally was not called MobMD in the first place. It was originally labeled MobIm, and after this had appeared in the files, we got another track labeled MobImu. And in case you aren't aware of Mob OR or what it was, it ended up being Piranha Plant Cove, and there is an unused version of this track labeled Mob INU in Taurus files, which, given the abbreviation, I currently believe that this is, I don't know exactly what the N is for, obviously, but that the U in INU stands for unused. So INU would just be simply an unused version of Piranha Plant Cove. However, we also have IMU whenever we originally had mob im in the game's files. So this could easily be Nintendo changing the name of im to MD after their original version of Madrid, which is what the city is currently expected to be, if it even is a city. There are gaps for 3 variants in this course, but again, pure speculation. It could be that Nintendo simply changed the name to MD after creating this MU version of the course, since that would be the unused version or test version of Madrid, and then MD is what will actually end up being released. This is all entirely a theory that I put together. I don't even think I've ever seen this stated anywhere by anyone else. However, this is something that I purely put together after firmly believing MD was not going to be a city course and coming to the realization that I probably was wrong at that time. Of course, none of this is 100% confirmed. Nothing about Madrid or Rio or even Daisy Circuit is 100% confirmed. And all of this is purely just to show the kind of enjoyment that people like myself and Tor data miners get from looking into these files and putting together possible tours that we can be getting in the near future. So I hope that you've enjoyed listening to these predictions and listening to the theory that I made for MobMD. And if you have any other things that you'd like to share about these tours or tracks, feel free to share whatever you know in the comments or whatever you think might happen, and I will respond as soon as I can. I would love to hear your ideas and opinions on everything that's coming up. That's all I have for today, guys. Thank you so much for listening in, and I will talk to you guys later.